Alright, it's time to start this Torino build. I had some ideas, so let's talk about it. I looked at some pictures of Torinos and I saw an overwhelming number of them were sort of in a brown metallic color. So I've got this paint from MCW I had in my paint stash. I knew I had some cool colors. And it says 81 Ford 8L Dark Nutmeg Metallic. I think I bought these while I was looking for something else and they had the overstock section. So that's got the kind of the cool color, the cool 1970s brown, cherry, mahogany color that these cars were. It might not be the exact right color, but it gets the general look, right? Okay, and for wheels, I was going to do something different. And I've got these BBS wheels from Fujimi, I think. Yeah. BBS V-Spec. I bought these because I saw them on Mega Hobby while I was buying something else. And 17-inch wheels are kind of hard to find because a lot of the aftermarket wheels are like 20s and 18s and 19s, really, really big. So for these wheels, we'll compare it with the built model. For the rear, they're not as tall as the rear wheels, but they are a little bit about the same size as the fronts. So I have to figure out the stance. But I've got my color, so I'm going to get started and I'll check in with you when I've got more. Continued work with the Torino. I've painted a whole lot of parts, so let's go over everything real quick. I got the engine block painted with Tester's Model Master Ford Engine Blue. And I've painted the starter. So I did the detail painting. You can see the fuel pump. Silver. So manually focus here. Okay, and then I detail painted the built assembly. So I added a little bit of color there with the pulleys or the engine color. Got the silver alternator. And this I think is the air conditioning compressor clutch. Painted the exhaust. I'm going to go over that and heat stress it a little bit. This intake manifold where I painted the distributor cap tan. I always seem to remember seeing tan distributor caps at the auto parts store. So that's a nice touch there that I like. And so I'm ready to assemble. So I've got most of the driveline components painted. So I'm almost ready to start assembly here. And then for the chassis, I went into the BG playbook. I painted the chassis German gray. Then I went and hand painted the frame rails black. Give a little bit of visual interest there. And I think I'm going to do some weathering to sort of tone it and make it look more like a real car there. A car that's been used. So I've developed a backstory for this model. I'll share it later. I guess the shocks, I painted the shocks yellow. And then the interior, I had to primer these parts. I primered them in black. Because with that red plastic, you don't want to take a chance of having trouble covering that red plastic. So starting with a black primer should help. I'm going to go with some kind of a tan or dark brown to go with the sort of metallic brown body color. So I will continue working on this and check in soon.